He's just a good old boy who loves burning rubber and driving fast.
All right, folks, obviously I'm here at the race shop, and over the next few days, we are going to introduce you to the race team. Everybody that makes it where I can stomp on the loud pedal of this RWR Racing Parts Plus Top Fuel Dragster. Hope y'all enjoy these. If I can, I'll put one out a day for the next few days and let you meet the people that make this car go fast. Hope you enjoy it. All right, hanging out. We are going to do a meet the team. Some of them you know, some of them you don't. Y'all know this guy is Double Duty Austin Taylor.
Yep.
All right, gonna make this real quick because me and you can gossip for a while.
Yes,
we can. So, real quick, where are you from?
About 35 miles outside of St. Louis, Missouri. West, across the river.
Across the river.
Yep.
Favorite hobby, pastime, whatever you want to call it.
I got a few. Riding dirt bikes would be number one if I'm going just off the top of my head.
Yep.
Or four-wheelers, either one. ATVs.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get on either one and have a good time. So
Yeah, I can go with that. We talk about that a lot. So, how did you get here? Like, short version of your racing story. How did you get here?
So, I mean, I've been around it my whole life, pretty much.
Would you have called yourself a super fan?
In a sense, yeah. Some people would call it that.
Because some of the guys around here, like Austin, will know. You know what?
Yeah. I would. Yeah. I didn't like collect a bunch of stuff, but I know.
You're pretty good with history.
Yeah. When it comes to the numbers within drag racing and the history of who's done what, I'm good there.
Yeah.
You know. So in that sense, yes, I was a super fan.
Yeah.
And I've always just, drag racing's always gave me a thrill. You know, it's like there's something about drag racing that only certain people understand.
Yep.
You know, that it gives you this certain feeling. And I've been that way my whole life. You know, it's never went away. I've never not liked it. I never knew if I would have the opportunity to work on one of these cars, so I never really studied it that well when it comes to the engine aspect. So, before this, I was just framing houses, you know.
Right.
I was just framing out in the hot heat and the cold winters. And, I got the opportunity from one of Doug's friends, Ross Taylor,
Meaning Doug Stringer, y'all.
Yeah, Doug Stringer. And he got me in contact with Doug. I only lived 2.5 hours from that shop. And one day, got in contact with Ross, told him I was interested. A few months down the line, he gives my dad a call and tells him that they need me. So here I am, barely even knowing what a wrench is.
I was going to go there.
Yeah, I didn't even know what vice grips were. And, I was willing to learn, though, which is most important. And, I was nervous. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. I was nervous. I was getting into a position that I didn't know much about. And I just worked my way from there. I drove over to Illinois, moved out of my parents' house. I was freshly 20 years old. I just turned 20 and moved out and worked from there, and now I'm here about, 3 years later?
I think so.
3 years later.
I think so. So the story I was going to tell, so I'm at Doug's shop. It's wintertime, freezing cold. This kid shows up. Don't know what a 9/16 wrench is, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. I knew the size, but I didn't know the difference in a 6-point, a 12-point,
Right.
An open end, a ratcheting wrench.
Right. And so the first thing that me and him do, we're going to put a front end under a golf cart. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
And he's heard me say this, and I may have said this on here before, but I tell Doug, like, I don't know, this kid ain't gonna make it. He's not gonna make it, you know. But I will give you credit. You, as my mama always said, you had the want to, and you just overcome.
Yeah.
Like you wanted to bad enough that you figured it out, you know. And
in my head every day I was like, I'm not gonna let this not work, you know, because to me it was like blowing this opportunity. I would have freaked out, you know. It was like once I get a taste of it, I don't want to leave. So,
kind of since we're on that path, what was it like the first time you were standing behind a race car?
It was
nervous, scared, excitement, all the above.
A little bit of all the above, but mostly I would say excited. You know, because it's that the first time you feel that, you almost can't not smile. You know, because it's so much, it tickles your inside. Everything, so it's like you can't not smile. I mean, obviously, you know, in that exact moment. Beforehand, nervous. After, nervous. But in the exact moment when the light turns green, I was smiling.
And I know the answer to this, and if y'all have paid attention, you will too. Highlight of your racing career so far?
St. Louis. Winning St. Louis. Yeah, I mean, the first win was beyond awesome. Don't get me wrong. That was because your first one, you never get your first one again. And you never get the same feeling as your first one, but every single one of them feels awesome.
But that one, I mean, I knew the answer to that. I've asked you that before on here, actually. But, I mean, your dad was there, your brother was there.
My dad, my brother, one of my best friends, my mom, the guy who introduced my dad, which, you know, introduced me to drag racing, like everybody. You know, the pieces just fell together perfect that day, so...
And we had a good car that day.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was unstoppable.
Yeah,
really.
It was awesome. Awesome. So, did you not have a story with some connection to Jim O ahead of time?
No, I did. So, in 2015, Jim O had released his book, and Coletta had a program going on to get VIP access to the Coletta pits and all that. And through Facebook, my dad, you know, raised some money through promoting his book to get that opportunity. And I flew we went up to Michigan, raised we were supposed to raise like 10,000, raised like 8.5 or something, all through just GoFundMe, you know, promoting Jim O's book. And we ended up going up to Michigan, flew with Doug in his private plane, Doug Coletta, in his private plane from their shop to the Houston, Texas race, and they ended up winning that race.
Yeah.
So that's what introduced me to Jim O. Jesse, you know, that was in 2015. So that was, you know, being a 14-year-old kid, that was a pretty awesome experience.
Riding on a freaking private jet with Doug Coletta, that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Tommy Delago was in there, his wife, and me and my dad, and it was a cool experience.
That's a pretty cool experience, for sure. So you've done this for a few years. You've really done well. Like I say, I kind of covered that a little bit. What has been, and this is kind of for fun, because for me, and you know this, past is the past. What has been your biggest screw up? Like, oh my God, I did that.
So, some people would say that...
For me, it's obvious. It's a big red light, a big hole shot. But sometimes for the crew guys, they know they did it, but the world may not know.
Yeah. The buttons thing, and when we were in Charlotte...
Explain the buttons
thing. See, and the problem is I fight in my head with this 50-50 because I don't know if I for sure did it or if they burnt up, but... there was nowhere else they could have went. So I lean a little more towards I maybe forgot them.
So what it is, buttons go in the pistons and they hold the wrist pin in place and they also hold the rings in place. Yep. That's kind of the short story there.
Yeah, so they go right on the side of the piston, right, you know. And in Charlotte, I may or may not have forgot them, and it caused a big fireball. And you know, part of it also was the suction line coming off to the oil pan. But if that wouldn't happen, if I didn't forget the buttons, then the car would have.
But think about the good thing this way, and we'll have Blaine on here as well. You didn't get the nickname Buttons.
I didn't. Ringo.
Yeah,
He had Ringo, and I didn't get Buttons. So. I've been lucky to not have any really.
I think I would rather be called Ringo than Buttons.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I agree with that. I don't know how I feel about Buttons.
Yeah. All right, very last thing. Goals for this year. And that can be either for you or
I'll just name both. Name both. I mean, really, for myself, it's just, consistently building a short block as best as I can to the same as before,
So I guess we need to tell that. So
yeah, I mean, they don't even know that
for you.
Yeah.
So what did you do last year?
So
this year?
My first year was just racks, putting together all the rods, pistons, everything like that. And then last year it converted to racks and bottom end, and now this year I'm moving up to short blocks and bottom end.
So what short blocks is, basically he will assemble the block, crank, and camshaft.
Yep. And do
hugely important.
All with all the timing within that, setting all the triggers, TDC, everything. So it's a big jump, and I'm excited for it, though. I'm confident within what I'm doing. I mean, I've practiced with Andy for over a year now, and I put a couple together on my own already this week. So I'm excited for it.
What's funny about that, 3 years ago, didn't know what a box end wrench was.
That's
now
right.
he's building 12,000 horsepower engines.
Yep. So, I mean... Yeah, you can accomplish anything.
Yeah.
You really can, because I never ever would have thought I was going to be in this position, and here we are. So I mean, it's corny, but you can accomplish anything.
100%. I mean, I'm a forklift driver that now makes a living driving a top fuel car.
That's right. I mean, I was pushing grocery carts 5 years ago.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. So team goal, very last one. Team goal for you. We all obviously
within what I think we can all accomplish
Yep.
is the championship.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, after what we did last year, we can win a championship.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree. How many race wins are you predicting?
4. We'll just go 4.
Yeah. How about we take those 4 in the last 6 races?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
We'll go to like 10 finals within the regular season, and then we'll win 4. Yeah. But I think we can shoot for more than 4. I mean, 4. I'm going to go with minimum 4.
Yeah.
Minimum
I like
4.
that. I wouldn't be mad about that.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 last year was freaking awesome.
Yep.
So the only thing better than 3 is 4.
If those 3 would have just lined up better, I mean, we might already have one.
Yeah, exactly. All right, y'all. Double duty awesome.
Yep. Let's go.